सो स्टूडेंट्स, हम लोग अब थर्ड टॉपिक पे डिस्कस करेंगे। एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन का क्लासिफिकेशन हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं और उसके थर्ड टॉपिक पे डिस्कस करेंगे बडिंग के बारे में। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू राइट द definition ऑफ द बडिंग। लिसन केयरफुली। लिखा हुआ है, इसको लिखिए आप। स्मॉल आउट ग्रोथ ओवर पेरेंटल बॉडी पार्ट्स। स्मॉल आउट ग्रोथ ओवर पेरेंटल बॉडी पार्ट्स of some lower organisms like yeast and hydra called bud। अभी हम लोग बड के बारे में सिर्फ जाने हैं, लिखे हैं। स्मॉल आउटग्रोथ ओवर पेरेंटल बॉडी पार्ट्स ऑफ सम लोअर ऑर्गेनिजम्स लाइक yeast and hydra called bud। The process of separation of attached bud from parental body parts in order to form new young one called budding। The process of separation of attached bud from parental body parts in order to form new young one called budding। So first portion was in case of bud and second portion was actually exact definition of budding। So budding is the process in which generally suppose that this is an organism and over the organism body parts after some time due to the irregular cell division there is a bud like structure, there is a little outgrowth, this is actually the little outgrowth form over the body of some organisms, and later this outgrowth gets separate out from the main body and form the same body as like their parental body parts. That phenomenon is known as budding, and the little outgrowth as you have seen, that is actually the bud. Overall process is known as budding. The diagram you have seen over there, that is actually the diagram of budding in yeast. Keep in mind, budding is also known as torulation। टॉरुलेशन बहुत सारे बुक्स में ऐसे भी दिया हुआ है, तो कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है। बडिंग इज आल्सो नोन एज टॉरुलेशन। अब आते हैं बडिंग के एग्जाम्पल की मैं बात कर दूं। डिफिनीशन हो गया, बडिंग का टाइप्स और एग्जाम्पल। टाइप्स, एक्चुअली बडिंग यूनिसेलुलर में भी होता है एंड आल्सो इन मल्टी सेलुलर लिविंग बीइंग। Example of budding in unicellular living being is yeast. The budding is yeast. Budding in yeast is exogenous type. What is exogenous budding? When the buds form outside from the body. As you have seen the yeast, there is the bud. That bud is actually outside from the body and later gets separated out. Many students are confused. What is the difference between budding and binary fission in amoeba? The major problem is budding and binary fission in amoeba. Listen carefully. Why the students get confused regarding budding and binary fission? Both, that is in case of budding in yeast and binary fission in amoeba, both occurs in unicellular living being. The yeast is also unicellular living being and amoeba, but the budding in yeast is actually irregular type. That is, you can see the main body, that is parental body, is not identical with the young one, that is the bud. The size of bud is very little, but in case of parental body is very big. In case of binary fission, the amoeba divide equally, that is both size are almost equal. The second one, that is budding, is common in both unicellular and multicellular living being. For example, it also occurs in multicellular hydra, but binary fission always occurs in unicellular living being like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, leishmania, etc. So this should be your homework. What is the difference between budding and binary fission? What is the difference between budding and binary fission? तो यहाँ पे यूनिसेलुलर में आपने लिखा budding in yeast, example, it is exogenous type. Exogenous means when bud become outside from the body. Now back to the multicellular organism, budding in multicellular organisms. Now the budding is in multicellular organisms, example hydra, and sponges. Sponges belong to phylum Porifera. Keep in mind. Hydra, how do Hydra form bud, and how do they will get eliminated from the outside of the body? Listen carefully. The main body of Hydra is uh, as these. Check the NCERT and see the different diagrams of page number 6. That should be your homework, and also there should be many questions appeared in the board examination. But actually the Hydra body has the many tentacles, and after some time new Hydra will be formed as a bud, and later the Hydra, the newly formed Hydra, will get separate out from the main body, and the main body remain as usual. But the new bud that is in form of Hydra will be get separate out. This is the budding in Hydra, and this should be your homework, the sequential division and also the sequence of budding in Hydra as the quotation, that is figure showing sequence of budding in Hydra will be your quotes and explanation. How could you explain? The Hydra, main body of Hydra form a little bud in form of the new young one, which later gets separate out to form the identical copies. तो ये आप लिख लीजिएगा. अब आते हैं budding in sponges. Actually budding in Hydra is exogenous type, that is outside form, bud form outside from the body. But the budding in sponges is endogenous type. Endogenous type. It means in case of sponge, the bud form inside the body, that has special name known as the gamule, and it is very important question. What is gamule structure and also how do it form? It is very important question for you. So why the gamules are the name of एंडोजीनस बडिंग? इट इज एक्चुअली द स्पेसिफिक नेम, ये स्पेशल नेम है, इस वजह से इसको गैम्यूल बुलाता है तो बडिंग. कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे गैम्यूल को? लिख लो कॉपी में. द एंडोजीनस बडिंग इन सम स्पंजेस लाइक स्पॉन्जिला. स्पॉन्जिला क्या है? फ्रेश वाटर स्पंज है. लाइक some sponges like spongilla called gamule. Gamule, keep in mind, gamule is also known as archaeocyte. Archaeocytes, keep in mind. सो इस बडिंग, चूंकि इंटरनल बडिंग और एक्सटर्नल बडिंग है तो बडिंग, बट इसका स्पेशल नेम है, इस वजह से इसका नाम पड़ गया गैम्यूल. जैसे मान लो कि अगर आपका नेमिंग नहीं होता तो आप क्या होते? इंसान होते. हम भी इंसान होते. आप जिसको नहीं पहचानते हो, पापा वो आदमी आया है, ठीक है, पापा पहचानते हो तो पता देते हैं कि हाँ वो आदमी फला नाम है. तो ये एक्चुअल में इसका स्पेशल नेम पड़ गया इंटरनल बडिंग, इस वजह से इसका नाम पड़ गया गैम्यूल. अदरवाइज ये इंटरनल बडिंग ही है, ठीक है, एंडोजीनस या इंटरनल बडिंग. स्ट्रक्चर इसका पेज नंबर 6 पे अच्छे से दिया, उसको आप देख लीजिएगा. ऐसे दिया होगा, एक मटके की तरह से ऐसे डायग्राम बना होगा और इस तरह से आपको स्ट्रक्चर मिलेंगे. ये क्या इसका? माइक्रोपाइल, माइक्रोपाइल, आउटर मेम्ब्रेन, इनर मेम्ब्रेन, और यहाँ पे आपको छोटे छोटे कांटे होंगे. ये क्या है? स्पिक्यूल्स. लेबलिंग कर लीजिएगा बना करके, स्पिक्यूल्स. और यहाँ पे बहुत सारे बड मिलेंगे, जिसको बोलते हैं गैम्यूल. आप बड नहीं लिखिएगा, यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे? गैम्यूल. इट इज आल्सो नोन एज आर्कियोसाइट्स. आर्कियोसाइट्स. तो ये डेफिनेशन हो गया, एक्सप्लेनेशन. दैट आफ्टर द बडिंग देयर इज द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज द spore formation. Next topic is spore formation. Spore formation, it is the 5th point. First point was fission, second point was fragmentation, third was regeneration, and fourth was budding. I think that was actually, I have written the third point, but it was actually, that was actually the 4th point, and this is the 5th point. Now back to the spore formation. Before talking the spore formation, there is need to write the definition of spore only. Now write the spores, definition of spores. The germinal part of non-flowering part called, the germinal parts of non-flowering plants called spores. Germinal part of non-flowering parts called spores. ठीक है, छोटे छोटे सीड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर बनते हैं कुछ लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स में जो लोअर नॉन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स होते हैं, नॉन वैस्कुलर भी हो सकते हैं, ऐसे लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स को बोलते हैं स्पोर प्रोड्यूसिंग लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स। अब स्पोर्स का हम थोड़ा सा क्लासिफिकेशन कर लें। डिफिनेशन लिख दीजिए, इसके बाद लिखिए क्लासिफिकेशन और टाइप्स ऑफ स्पोर्स फॉर्मेशन। स्पोर फॉर्मेशन, स्पोर्स क्या होते हैं? स्पोर्स हैप्लॉइड भी हो सकते हैं, डिप्लॉइड भी हो सकते हैं। डोंट बी कंफ्यूज। हैप्लॉइड मीन्स हैविंग हाफ नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स टू कंपेयर देन द पेरेंटल वन, एंड डिप्लॉइड मीन्स having equal double number of chromosomes or always the even number of chromosomes. Now back to the spore formation. Spore formation, spores may be motile, that is spores may be moved from one place to another place and having very special organs, very special structures that help to move, that help to make them motile. And second one is non-motile. Spores may be motile or may be non-motile. Now back to the motile spores are found in the Chlamydomonas. Example of motile spores, Chlamydomonas, and that motile spores is known as zoospores. Zoospores. Keep in mind, zoospores actually can move with the help of the flagella. This is the flagella, and with the help of flagella zoospores can move. Keep in mind. And actually the Chlamydomonas is a type of algae. Keep in mind. And that algae after some time when become mature then form a very sac like or pouch like structure known as zoosporangium. Zoosporangium. And in the zoosporangium many zoospores form. Listen carefully. If the Chlamydomonas is haploid, then the zoosporangium will be haploids, and the zoospores form in the zoosporangium will also always be haploid. So they are actually the zoospores. And after some time the wall of zoosporangium get burst and they will released out, but having very special movable organ that is known as flagella, and with the help of flagella they can move from one place to another place with the help of water. Keep in mind. Remember in class 11th you have a pre-mindset, you have a very special questions. I think in chapter 3rd, that is plant kingdom, some algae and some fungi like some algae like Chlamydomonas cannot move, cannot reproduce in dry condition. This is because they form the very special asexual organs known as zoospores that are actually the motile with the help of flagella. But there is a need of medium. The flagella can have requirement of a medium, and that medium is known as water. With the help of water they can move from one place to another place. If the condition is dry, the zoospores remain in the zoosporangiums and there will be no functional reproduction occurs. That is, the reproduction is actually totally blocked in them in the condition dry. Keep in mind. That is actually the overall concept of motile zoospores. Now back to the non-motile zoospores. Now the non-motile spores, not zoospores, non-motile spores. Keep in mind. The spores that cannot move, that do not have any medium, the medium is movable, then they can move. The medium is not movable, they cannot move. For example, if the water is stagnant and zoospores has a flagella, then zoospores can move from one place to another place. मतलब वाटर अगर स्टेगनेंट है, ठहरा हुआ, फिर भी जूस्पोर्स एक प्लेस से दूसरे प्लेस पे मूव कर सकता है. बट नॉन मोटाइल का कंडीशन क्या है कि अगर वाटर स्टेगनेंट है तो ये भी स्टेगनेंट रहेंगे, वाटर मूव करेगा करंट के थ्रू तो ये मूव करेंगे. ठीक है, तो ये दोनों में डिफरेंट है, बेसिक डिफरेंट बिटवीन द नॉन मोटाइल एंड मोटाइल स्पोर्स. नॉन जूस्पोर्स आर एक्चुअली माइक्रोस्कोपिक एंड मोटाइल, but the non-motile will be two different types, that is in the algae, in some algae, and